wonder. It's breaking a sweat already. But with still perfect hair, the one and only Matt Parker.
At least I got that going for me.
I have learned not to say licky licky.
I beg your pardon?
Licky licky. There's a road right near my son's house in Hawaii.
Yes.
That is spelled. You ready for this?
No.
L-I-K-E. L-I-K-E.
And they pronounce it?
I don't know. I pronounce it licky licky.
Of course
They
you would.
don't like that when I say licky licky.
There's a street downtown Shreveport they call, but wait, let's move on.
Sorry.
Okay, so last night I filled in for CL Bryant. CL was giving a speaking engagement in North Carolina. And part of the show, I chatted with former Shreveport meteorologist, Joe Bastardi.
He was our guy.
So you've known him for 30 years.
Gosh, since 1990, maybe?
He told me that he was working in this market in the early 80s, in like 82 and 83.
Yeah, he was with us for
and
through the early 90s,
I had
probably.
no idea. And he's working now for weatherbell.com.
Yep.
And he sort of gave me an update on Hurricane Matthew. But that was last night. This is going to be bad.
Yeah, this is not a good situation. We're now just finding out about the devastation in Haiti. It really doesn't look good. The east coast of Florida is bracing. It is now in the Bahamas, causing problems.
Yeah, like Nassau and stuff, right?
Hurricane watches and warnings now extend all the way up the coast into South Carolina.
Okay, what Joe told me last night was that is it 11 o'clock this morning or tomorrow morning that it's supposed to come aground?
This morning.
Okay. And it's going to be like, imagine a great big ball, and a third of it is going to be over the east coast of Florida, and 2/3 of it will still be out over water.
Wow.
And it's supposed to move right up the Florida coast. He said this could be the worst hurricane that has ever hit the Cape Canaveral, what's called the Space Coast area.
Wind speeds right now, as we speak, I'm just looking at Fox now, 125 miles an hour.
Then it could do one of two things. It will move back out over water over the Atlantic Ocean and head for the Carolinas, i.e. specifically Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, up in that area. Wait a second. Where's your kid?
He is not in Carolina at the moment. He is in Arizona. That's about all I can tell you. His wife, I believe, is back home here in Plain Dealing, thank goodness. But they have a home there in North Carolina.
How far are they?
The
How far are they from the ocean?
20 minutes.
Seriously?
Yeah, they're right there.
Or, Mr. Joe said last night, it might, watch my hand here, it might come off the Florida coast, do a hard right back out into the ocean.
Well, that'd be great.
And then do a U-ey,
No.
come back around, build up steam, and hit Florida once again. In other words, it could literally
That's weird.
just do a big circle. No, we've had hurricanes in South Louisiana do that.
Ooh.
That was one of the first questions I asked Joe. I said, could it do that big loop-de-loop that hurricanes oft do? He said, it just might.
I'm
So
not in favor
imagine
of that.
being devastated by a Cat 4 hurricane and 2.5 or 3 days later being devastated by the same Cat 4 hurricane.
That's troublesome.
So as it stands right now, give me the update. Florida this morning.
Bahamas right now,
Okay,
then to Florida later this morning, and be over Florida much of today. Wind speeds now 125 miles an hour. They have evacuated parts of Florida, are urging folks to leave.
Governor.
You shouldn't have said that.
I know.
just now.
I had it 2 seconds ago. Now all I can think of is Abbott in Texas. I know. Obviously that's not it.
Yeah.
Allen? I don't know. Anyway, I mean, literally millions and millions of people he's urging to evacuate. Go to Georgia.
Yeah.
Go to Alabama.
What's our buddy Rush going to do? He's right there, isn't
I
he?
was just about to bring that up. The Rush Limbaugh Show, Rush and his folks are in Palm Beach, Florida.
That's right there on the coast.
Literally. Jupiter, Port St. Lucie, all along there.
He's got another studio in New York, but he doesn't like to go there because he has to pay taxes.
Well, I was listening yesterday And he said they haven't decided yet whether to try. He said one way or the other. The show is he's either going to do the show at a remote location for 3 or 4 or 5 days because they can't stay there and do it.
Right.
Or he said he might try to ride out the hurricane at his house, mansion.
He's on the beach.
He might try to ride out the hurricane.
Not a good idea, my buddy.
And have guest hosts for 4 or 5 days.
Ooh, not good.
So he hasn't decided yet, depending on well, he's got a private jet. He can be out of there in 20 minutes. It's like you and me wanting to drive to Dallas.
Yeah.
News Radio 710 Keel, 18 past 6 o'clock. Fletcher and Sports. Just a couple of seconds away. This part of the show powered by Avalone Door and Ironworks, raising garage door standards one home at a time. Good morning, News Radio 710 Keel. Traffic and weather just ahead right now. Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Mike the Sixth, the live-in live mascot for LSU Athletics, who has been on campus since August 25th, 2007, only has 1 to 2 months remaining to live. His cancer that they have treated has come back. He is in no comfort now, but doctors say that once he does experience pain and discomfort, they will euthanize Mike the Sixth, who most likely is the most beloved Mike the Tiger in history. The LSU Tigers still are unsure where they're going to play the Florida Gators. The entire state of Florida is facing Hurricane Matthew, one of the largest mass evacuations in U.S. history in advance of a weather event is taking place in northern Florida, eastern Florida, and along the Georgia coast. Yet the LSU Tigers right now are still scheduled to take on Georgia in Gainesville on Saturday morning. University of Florida officials say they're going to wait until 1 o'clock today to make any other kind of decision. LSU is expected to arrive in Florida on Friday. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work, but expect normal traffic delays on North Market near I-220. If you have anything to report to us, feel free to dial your Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Another warm one across the area for us today. High temperatures close to about 90 degrees. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain still pretty slim at about a 10% chance. Sky conditions partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies for today. I'm Fox 33 meteorologist Patrick Dennis.
622 at News Radio 710 Keel, Robert and Aaron. Okay, so yesterday in the 8 o'clock hour, we had Shreveport City Council Chairman Willie Bradford. See, we had seen the story that Mr. Willie was calling for, and we weren't exactly sure when, these like 12-hour budget sessions on a Saturday and Sunday. And we didn't know which is why. Why Saturday and Sunday? Is this true? Is this legit? 12 whole hours? What's the deal?
Well, the deal is that you need to have the city council there, and then you need department heads to come through, kind of on a schedule. You know, hey, I want to talk to SPAR. I want to talk to, water and sewer. I want to talk to the finance people. They got to each come through and spend some time. So you just knock it all out in 2 days rather than doing, 2 weeks of 2-hour sessions in the evening, which nobody wants to do.
And is that why they're doing it? Is that why they've chosen to work on a Saturday and Sunday? Yes,
exactly. To knock it out over a weekend and
but
get it
on
done.
The other hand, and I'm just guessing here, we're like $1 million in debt. The city is $1 million short. Mm-hmm. Is having these people, is doing all this on a Saturday and Sunday going to constitute overtime for a city without money?
Oh no, because typically you have a department head comes in and they're not paid overtime.
So they plan on doing this. See, tell me about how they get the mayor's budget first. Explain to me that process.
Yeah, the mayor has to present her budget to the city council, I think by October 1. I think that's the deadline. And then the council has to approve the budget by, I think, December 15th, I think's the date.
And they've got sort of they have their differences and they have to hash those out.
Yes, they look at, hey, you didn't include this that I wanted in the budget. Let's see if we can put this in and subtract it, whatever.
So when we were speaking with City Council Chairman Bradford yesterday, it came up, hey, in fact, Mr. Willie brought it up. We're $1 million short. What are we going to do?
I think we're going to be able to bring the city back a very sensible budget with the reality of what we are, where our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, what our needs are.
So the reality of things, is it realistic? Is it within the realm of possibility? Because it's on the wish list and Mayor Ali talked about this during the campaign and has spoken about it with regularity since, that she wants raises. Well, she's already given.
That's the problem. Here's where the problem is.
You brought this up with Miss Ali as long as going back as far as a year ago.
Yeah. Here's where your problem is. She raised minimum wage for city workers to, I believe it's 10 an hour.
From 7 whatever to 10 something.
10 an hour. And so what happens is if you got somebody making $7.50 an hour and you bump them to 10 because they were at minimum, and then you had somebody making $11 an hour.
What about me?
You now just put all these people below me right there with me. And I didn't see anything. They got a $2.50, $3 raise, and I didn't see anything. Where's my money?
So the point is, with Mr. Bradford, we're $1 million short. You said that, but you want to increase salaries for some city folks.
Giving raises is going to be a challenge, but at the same time, I think it's something that we're just going to have to look at doing.
Going to have to look at doing. Mm-hmm. When somebody in charge, you tell me if I'm wrong, because look at where we work. When a boss says, we got to get raises for some people.
Yeah.
Does that mean that he... I'm not going to say he has a lot of disgruntled employees, but would it be fair to say that he hears the grumblings from down below?
Of course. If you watch the city council meetings, they're there every meeting. There's employees there saying, we need more money.
There's a cliche now. Don't work harder, work smarter. Well, evidently that's what the city council plans to do. What did Mr. Willie called it? A smart budget. Mm-hmm. He called it a smart budget.
We're going to tighten it down a little bit. We're going to look at options on how we can generate more revenue.
Okay.
When you say more revenue, you know what I hear?
Yeah.
I hear the T word. That's what I hear.
Most men love the T word. Oh, wait, you're talking taxes. My bad. Okay. He said no new taxes, right?
Yes, he did.
So if no new taxes, where's the money coming from?
We're not talking about raising taxes now. Okay, raising taxes is not an option at this point. We realize where we are with that.
Okay, no taxes.
Belt tightening.
Raise revenues,
He
no
said
taxes.
Belt tightening. What? You're on the city council. You're Mayor Ollie Tyler.
Yeah.
You're Brian Crawford. You're in charge of the money. Look around. Where can we cut?
If they were to come to me and say, "Hey, where would you cut some budgets?" I would look at anything we contract out house. You know, do we do some legal work out? And they have reined most of the legal work in.
Maybe they should look at contracting, at privatizing some of the things that are done by the city.
Yeah.
Maybe that could save some money.
If you are on city garbage, you would say, I don't know about that. Because there's a lot of people who get to private companies and they're not happy with the service. Now, there's people that get city garbage pickup and they're not happy either. Especially since they changed to you put your limbs out there and they sit out there for 3 years.
Or the sofa and you got to call ahead and a month and a half later.
Yeah.
So as it stands now, they want to do raises for some city employees. Not going to raise taxes.
Yep.
Going to tighten the belt. And later this month, they will try to hash out the city council budget versus the mayor's budget and come up with something that is likable,
compromise,
acceptable to both sides.
Yep.
News Radio 710 Keel local news is up next. Robert and Aaron Keel News Radio time 628. News Radio 710 Keel almost said rapid traffic. Here's Ruben. Wait! Traffic. Here's rapid Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your drive to work or school this morning, but expect normal traffic delays on Uri Drive and East Kings Highway due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, feel free to dial your Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Another warm one across the area for us today. High temperatures close to about 90 degrees. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain still pretty slim at about a 10% chance. Sky conditions partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies for today. I'm Fox 33 meteorologist Patrick Dennis.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Hurricane Matthew moving into the Bahamas early today, bringing rain and heavy winds. Many people in the capital of Nassau took up residence at emergency shelters.
I'm hoping it doesn't become too crowded. But other than that, I'm okay.
The Category 3 storm packing maximum sustained winds about 125 miles an hour. Now the Air Force moves units to Barksdale ahead of Matthew. Matt Parker has that.
Hundreds of airmen and aircrafts have arrived at Barksdale Air Force Base to avoid potential damage from Hurricane Matthew. The units came from Shaw Air Force Base and Charleston Air Force Base in South Carolina, as well as Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in North Carolina. 2nd Bomb Wing Commander Colonel Ty Newman says that Barksdale is more than happy to provide refuge for their East Coast counterparts. The relocation is standard operating procedure to ensure safety and security for personnel and high-value assets. I'm Matt Parker, News Radio 710 Keel.
The Bossier Sheriff's Office investigating the discovery of a jawbone in the Red River. The bone was found in the 5000 block of Benton Road just north of 220. Lieutenant Bill Davis says the bone appears to be quite old. Detectives will send the bone to Baton Rouge to be analyzed in hopes of identifying the remains. A young man whose body was found by Shreveport police responding to a separate shooting Monday has now been identified. Angela Thomas has our update.
According to the Caddo Coroner's Office, Bobby Evans, who celebrated his 18th birthday September 29th, was identified through his distinguishing physical characteristics and tattoos. Evans was found behind a vacant house in the 1200 block of Travis Street after police responded to a call of a man who had been shot in the hand. Later, a third gunshot victim was treated at a local hospital. The investigation continues. Angela Thomas, 710 KEEL.
The Highway 154 bridge over Lake Bistineau in Bossier Parish will be christened the Officer Thomas LaValle Memorial Bridge on October 22nd. A ceremony scheduled to take place that day on the southeast corner of the bridge. LaValle was killed August 5th, 2015, while responding to a call. Grover Cannon's accused of killing LaValle, expected to go on trial for the murder in February. The Shreveport City Council will dive deep into budget discussions later this month. Council Chairman Willie Bradford says he's confident the group will bring forth a sensible budget for next year.
We're going to tighten it down a little bit. We're going to look at options on how we can generate more revenue.
Bradford says right now there's about $1 million deficit in sales taxes, but he says raising taxes is not an option being considered. Progress is being made on Bossier's downtown re-envisioning project. Coordinator Pam Glorioso says the contractor's now caught up after weather created some delays.
We have some asphalt on the ground, starting at traffic to Arcadia Street. The next phase of asphalt on the ground will pick up from Arcadia and take it to Mansfield Street in doing those segments. We met with the contractor. There are some always, as I've called, uh-ohs that we've encountered because there's so many unknowns in the infrastructure that lies under the asphalt there. But the water and the sewer are being taken care of.
Take a look at drone video of the area at 710keel.com. An East Texas man's been put to death for killing two neighbors in a shooting rampage 13 years ago. 58-year-old Barney Fuller Jr. had asked that all his appeals be dropped to speed up his execution. Fuller went on a middle-of-the-night shooting frenzy in May of '03, killing a husband and wife. The couple's 14-year-old son survived 2 gunshot wounds, and their 10-year-old daughter escaped injury when Fuller couldn't turn the light on in her bedroom. Partly cloudy today with our high temp close to 87 degrees. Right now it is 69. I'm Erin McCarty from News Radio 710 KEEL.
Good morning, 636 at News Radio 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. So you sent me a link last night, and you said,
I don't even want to tell you.
And you said, look at this. And then I went to look at it, and it like gave me the 404 thing. And I said, something didn't work right. Resend the link. And you said, wait, it's a hoax, a scam.
Yeah, I'll let you open it on my phone, and you can tell me why it's a scam. Okay? It said, it's a big story. It looked like a big story. It said CNN, list of campuses across America that will be closed on 10/5 due to open gunfire by clowns.
But that was yesterday.
Near campus.
Yeah,
and
that's not true, by the way.
No,
that's
true.
some internet hoax.
It's a hoax. It's not true. I'm going to open it up, and I'll let you look at the...
But just to give you some...
You describe this to them.
Give you some inkling... Oh, God.
That's what I get.
Nice.
Wasn't that a movie, Attack of the Killer Clowns?
Matt, would you like to see what I got when I open that?
No,
Come on, take a look.
No.
It's only one of 3 things, and none of which I want to see.
It's not good.
Well, it was number 1.
Oh, man.
But evidently this
sick.
This crazy clown craze is it's not. Well, Halloween is rapidly approaching, so this is there's gonna be more and more and more of this killer clown hoax stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we've already had another arrest in Caddo Parish, I think a 15-year-old.
Wait. Did you have this yesterday?
I think we did. Yeah, we had this
Tell me
yesterday.
about this, because it's turning into, which is a perfect example of 21st century America. I'm going to terrify people, but I don't want to leave my parents' basement.
Right, exactly. Well, we had one earlier in the week, the 14-year-old, for making threats at, I think, Fair Park and Woodlawn. Then we had 3 arrested in Bossier Parish. You heard about that earlier in the week.
It's all online stuff, right?
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
And it's the Willie the Clown, using the Willie the Clown moniker to make the threats.
Yeah.
It's the Willie the Clown. It's, I don't know, with the pictures of the clown.
Now, I've seen a lot where it was what's the Stephen King, Pennywise, from It. And I've seen that face a lot.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen, but I'm thinking, because the original stories that I think started off the whole story, or stories originated either in Indiana or Michigan, where it was guys in trench coats with these creepy clown masks, like standing on the side of the road.
Yes.
Or lurking in the woods or in people's backyards, which would, I got to tell you, I see a guy in a trench coat in a creepy clown mask in my driveway, I might be a little distraught.
I'm making a phone call. This latest case is a 15-year-old young boy, who was charged with terrorizing. What he did was he apparently sent a threatening message to a classmate on Instagram using an account for Willie the Clown.
Okay, we'll talk about this more as the day rolls on, but read that
That's such a lie.
The top line headline.
Move your finger.
No, I want to block that out on purpose. Read that top line.
Performers organize Clown Lives Matter.
No, it's not a hoax. No, that's not a scam. That's legit.
Come on.
News Radio 710 KEEL 639 traffic update. Rapid Ruben is raring to go.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work, but expect normal traffic delays on North Market near I-220. If you have anything to report to us, feel free to dial your Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
No big changes just yet to our forecast. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies expected today. Forecast highs warming upwards close to about 90 degrees. Chance of rainfall about a 10% chance. Winds are going to be out of the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'm Fox 33 meteorologist Patrick Dennis.
Good morning, 642 at News Radio 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Aaron McCarty. Hurricane Matthew, a major threat to Florida and the southern USA as it stands right now. Mr. Jason Hansford from the National Weather Service is here. Hey, Jason, how you been, man? Thank you for joining us.
You betcha. Doing pretty good, Robert. How are you?
What is the projected, what time is it later this morning it's supposed to landfall for Florida? When is that?
We're looking at probably sometime late this evening, probably just prior to the midnight hour.
Okay, so I had it backwards, not 11 a.m., it's 11 p.m. this evening.
Yes.
Okay.
What are the conditions of the hurricane right now? Where is it, et cetera? Wind speeds and all that.
Right. As of 4 a.m. this morning, our time, Matthew was located at about 60 miles south-southeast of Nassau in the Bahamas. It's also about 255 miles southeast of West Palm Beach, Florida. Maximum sustained winds were near 125 miles an hour, with some higher gusts, obviously, with a minimum central pressure of 944 millibars.
In the scheme of hurricanes, is this area-wise, is it small or is it huge? For example, right now, if the eye is over, I guess it's around Nassau in the Bahamas right now, how far north, in other words, is it already cloudy and raining in Palm Beach?
Not quite. I know the winds are beginning to pick up there in Palm Beach now, but it's not an overly large storm, though. It's a very compact storm, though. But again, tropical storm force winds will begin to overspread parts of southern Florida as early as later on this afternoon and evening.
The path from the Bahamas, can you give us a direction? If is it headed straight for Palm Beach, or is it going to kind of go up the coast?
Kind of hit Miami and skirt up the east coast of Florida?
Well, it's interesting because some of the computer models we were looking at this morning, in fact, I've noticed this over the last few days, they've been trending further and further left with the overall track. Left by meaning a little further to the northwest. And so it could maybe perhaps have more direct impact with land areas north of Miami, including maybe Fort Lauderdale and Orlando, Palm Beach.
Heavily populated areas.
Yes, all along the east coast of Florida, Melbourne, Jacksonville, all the way up there into possibly far southeast Georgia.
Excuse me, Jason, you said Orlando. Orlando is landlocked. It's in the center of the state.
Yes.
And so the latest computer models say that it might not be as far east as originally planned, where I was looking at the thing last night, and it looked like about like 1/3 would be over the eastern part of Florida, and 2/3 would still be out over the ocean. Just move that back west a little bit, right?
Just a little bit. But you got to remember, though, too, there's going to be some errors in the overall path of the storm. The fact of the matter is, the entire eastern half or much of the Florida Peninsula will experience hurricane and tropical storm force conditions as early as later on today and continuing through tonight and through much of the day on Friday. So I wouldn't be too concerned a little bit as to the direct path, but those heavily populated areas along the east coast of Florida are certainly going to bear the brunt of the hurricane force winds. But the impacts across the peninsula will be widespread.
Jason Hansford with the National Weather Service. We're talking with him this morning about Hurricane Matthew. Do you anticipate as it passes across the Bahamas this morning that it could lose some of its punch as it hits Florida?
No, not at all. In fact, I was listening into the hurricane conference call earlier this morning, and they had an Air Force Reserve reconnaissance aircraft in the storm this morning and noted that the hurricane is beginning to intensify there at this time there, and the pressure is beginning to fall further, and so they're expecting further intensification throughout the day today. It's a Category 3 storm right now, and it's possible it could strengthen back up to a Category 4 later on today before it impacts southern Florida.
I had seen a computer projection, a model last night that also said there was a possibility, a chance that it could come up the east coast of Florida, move back out over the Atlantic Ocean, and do one of those like loop-de-loop hurricane U-turns, i.e. places like Palm Beach or even farther north could be hit by the same hurricane twice within 5 or 6 days.
That can't be ruled out. Some of the computer models are still indicating that here this morning, although they're really weakening the storm here by, say, the Monday to Tuesday time frame. Whether or not it really weakens that quickly remains to be seen, but I think the fact of the matter is, well, we just really need to be concerned about the impacts and the devastation that awaits parts of eastern Florida and possibly southeast Georgia and southeast or eastern South Carolina.
And that because of the geography of the coast for places like what's called the Space Coast, which is 75 miles east of Orlando. Cape Canaveral, I think Cocoa Beach is out that way, etc., that this will be the worst hurricane they've ever seen. Is that true?
I can't confirm or deny that there, Robert. I know we were talking about it here this morning that this may be the first major hurricane to strike the U.S. coast here, I think since 2005 with Wilma, I believe. So in terms of a Category 3 or stronger storm. So, I mean, it's been almost 10 years, if not a little more than 10 years, since we've had a direct strike on the U.S. mainland.
What can you tell us, if you know anything yet, about the damages left behind in Haiti? Those stories are starting to come out.
Yeah, other than what I've seen on national media, just complete devastation there in Haiti. Of course, it's a very poor country to begin with, and so the housing is fairly simple, fairly rural out that way. So just complete devastation with a lot of the homes completely demolished. They've had lots of flash flooding. It's a very hilly terrain out there, so lots of flash flooding across the island as well. It's amazing to our knowledge that only 2 deaths have occurred with that storm. Of course, they're still kind of, I guess, doing rescue efforts down there now. So the totals may end up going up in the future days, but it's just amazing, given the population of the island, that only 2 people have perished so far.
Jason Hansford, National Weather Service, thanks so much for your time.
Awesome stuff, man. Thank you for your time. We most appreciate it.
No problem. Y'all have a good day.
News Radio 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Aaron McCarty. Let's see, Fletch and Sports and Your Money Now coming up next, right here on Keel. News Radio 710 Keel, Fox 33 forecast, partly sunny today. A little on the warm side, near 90. Right now, 68 at Keel.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Louisiana Tech takes on Western Kentucky tonight in Joe IA Stadium. The Bulldogs are starting to right their ship, but if they want to continue their efforts to get back in the Conference USA Division race, they're going to have to snap the Hilltoppers' 13-game Conference USA winning streak. The last time Western Kentucky lost a league game came against Louisiana Tech back in 2014. Several high school games dot the agenda tonight as well. In District 1 5A, Parkway and Captain Shreve get together at Lee Hedges Stadium. Huntington and Fair Park play in a District 1 4A Tilted Independence Stadium. And in Vivian tonight, Calvary takes on North Caddo. That game is in District 1 2A. In the National League wildcard game last night, Madison Bumgarner did it yet again. An amazing shutout of the New York Mets in the one-game winner-take-all and move on to the division series against the Cubs game. He has now pitched in 8 postseason road games in his history. The Giants are 8-0 in those games. He has worked 53 2/3 innings in those 8 games and has given up a total of 3 earned runs. Last night, Connor Gillespie, who was basically an injury sub, blasted a 3-run home run in the top of the 9th inning for the only runs in a 3-0 win over the Mets at Citi Field in New York. The Giants take on the Cubs in the NLDS. Today, in playoff action, the Rangers are at it against Toronto in a rematch of last year's division series. This game begins at 3:30 tonight. Boston visits Cleveland. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Good morning, 6:55 at News Radio 710 KEEL. Robert and Aaron, short segment, but you were out on the roads this morning just a little before 6, right before the show started. Tell people what you saw.
I saw Power Line Company crews. I saw Con Ed crews lined up at local parking lots. Hotel parking lots are staying in local hotels.
Just right up here, what, the Holodome and stuff?
Well, yeah, and they were in the Wally World parking lot. They are lined up. They're obviously headed for Florida. They stopped here. Some of them came from Texas. I'm not sure how far the Con Ed folks came, but they're headed for Florida.
When you
Talked to one of the
say
guys.
lots of trucks, 10, 15, 30.
25.
Wow.
25 trucks, big ones with the big
Goose things.
Yeah, you sit in that thing and they raise you up.
Right.
They're just ready to go. They're going to make that. What is it, 12-hour drive to get to most of Florida?
Matthew details. More coming up just after 7 o'clock. News Radio 710 KEEL. Robert and Aaron, and Rush Time right now here on 710 KEEL.